Hey and welcome back. In part 2 I showed you how to establish your light and shading. Now get excited because in this final part we're going to conclude the painting with the details. Yes, these eye candy stuff that will make your painting look pretty. Let's go. Let's create a new layer for the gill, and this time don't change the blending mode, normal is fine. Control click on the thumbnail cap CB layer to select the entire mushroom. This is a lot faster than doing it manually. Getting back to my gill layer, using pretty much the same brushes in lesson 2, I'm going to paint in the details of the gills. It's pretty much the same procedure in the previous lessons. By now you should know the drill. The only difference this time is I'm going to combine base, shading and highlights into a single layer because I believe the gill is rather straightforward, not as complicated as the stem and the rest. If you find the selection border rather annoying, you can go to select, uncheck display selection. To unhide, simply check it off again. Take care you don't forget to do so when you are done, otherwise you will pull your hair out on why it won't paint anywhere else later. And yeah, it's a matter of spending some time sculpting in the details, the more the better. Obviously, you need to draw the line between getting shit done and being perfect. Alrighty, looks pretty good. And hey, how about painting in little bit of edge wear for fun? If you use Substance Painter, this is the equivalent to adding a black mask and edge wear generator. I might make a version of this tutorial for Blender and Substance Painter. Let me know in the comment below if you are interested in one too. Lovely. Now let's paint in a couple of spots around. Last but not least, I'm going to grab the cap SL layer. Using a charcoal-like brush or so, I'm going to sculpt in additional tier of shading in order to build up further details. The process is exactly the same as in the previous lesson, and I'm sure you know the techniques by now, which you can do on your own. Spend some time building up the details, and I'm going to speed up the video once again. And this one is optional, but if you want to make it look slightly more pronounced, you can add an extra layer for outline and draw a light one like so. We're almost there. Let's change the background by selecting a background color. Make sure it's unlocked if it is so, otherwise you can change it. Select your desired foreground color from the wheel and hit Shift Backspace to fill it in. I went ahead and experimented with various backgrounds, and I think this one will do. If you want a gradient look instead, first come over the gradient fill option and make sure it's set to from foreground to transparent, otherwise you might get the wrong effect. Select the gradient tool and draw a line like so. Don't be discouraged if it doesn't look quite right. It may take a couple of trials and errors to achieve the desired effect, and I think this combo looks good. I'm going to select the entire mushroom again by control clicking the thumbnail of the color group. And if you want your mushroom to have even more depth, you can create a global shadow layer. Grab your airbrush, set it to multiply, and I find the selection border getting annoying, so I will hit Ctrl+H to hide it for now. Make gentle shades with respect to the direction of the lights, similar to what you did in the previous lesson. And the reason I'm doing this border approach thing, so I can paint without worrying about the strokes leaking outside the mushroom, meaning you don't have to clean up any mess later and save time. Don't forget to hit Ctrl+H to unhide it when you are finished, and hit Ctrl+Shift+A to deselect. Similarly, do the same for the global highlight. While your selection is still in effect, all you have to do is add a global highlight layer, and normal is fine here. Hold down Ctrl+click to sample a bright color like this one, and make gentle shades with respect to the direction of the light, similar to what you did in the previous lesson. For extra visuals, you can also add bleed light layer at normal blend mode. Sample the brightest area of your background, namely the area that hits your object. Maybe make it a bit more brighter. And this time, I'll grab the pencil for soft. And gradually paint in spots along the edge. Or perhaps I should say sculpt in. I believe the process is rather similar when it comes to sculpting stuff in Blender 3D. Feel free to apply some smudging along the spots contour if they are too sharp in order to make it appear to be more blended in. And there you have it. Allow me to show you a really awesome shadow technique that will add beautiful charm to the picture and really enhance the look of your painting. And I'll let you go after this, don't worry. And since I don't need my tablet here, I'm going to use my mouse instead. Actually, I'll be switching to screencast recording as well, so you can see more clearly, while in over the shoulder camera you get to see more steps behind the scene, of course. Unfortunately, its quality is nowhere near screencast mode. Suffice to say, both views have pros and cons. First, unhide and clear any selection still there by hitting Ctrl plus H, then Ctrl plus Shift plus A. Otherwise, Krita won't let you work anywhere else outside the confines of this selection, and you definitely don't want that. Select your entire color group folder, hit Ctrl plus J to duplicate it, then right click, merge group layer. Activate transform by hitting Ctrl plus T, drag it sideways. Hit enter. Click here to activate alpha lock. Hit D to set back brush color to dark black, which is the default color. Next, hit shift plus backspace. Bring down the layer opacity to around 44%. Ctrl plus T and drag it back, and click here to move it down the original color group. This is going to be your shadow. You might want to transform it around, move it, rotate it, and experiment with the opacity to get the desired look. Looking better now, but not quite realistic looking because it's too solid and sharp. So what you can do is smudge or blur the contour with the blending brushes. I wouldn't overdo it, just little blurs along the far edges, I would say. Last but not least, and possibly the best part, you can move it, rotate it, then scale it down using the same Ctrl plus T for transformation. Hit enter when you're ready to finalize your transform. Then come over here, select perspective mode instead, and skew it down like so. Feel free to play around with the opacity if you want, and apply further smudging if necessary. And congratulations, my friend, you've made it. Give yourself a pat in the shoulder and a toast. Thanks for watching. If you found this lesson valuable, smash the like button to help me with the algorithm. See you in the next video.